Hi, and welcome to We Record. Our channel focuses on the beginner audio engineer. My name is Brian, and today we're going to be looking at Logic Pro X. Today we're just going to do part one of a 10-part series that we're going to be releasing every Friday. And pretty much we're just going to go over all the nuances of Logic Pro X. So today we're just going to go with the bare minimum, the basic overview of Logic Pro X. And again, if you're a beginner, this is designed particularly for you. Now, if you were to go and create a new track and enter, just say you just want a one track, this is basically what you would get on the screen. It looks pretty bare, which is good because the more stuff that you add, the more complicated it gets. And it can become very frustrating when you're trying to learn something new and you don't know what to do. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of what you're going to need to basically get up and running pretty quickly. And in my other videos, I'll go into more detail in terms of recording, plugins, gain staging, and mixing, and so forth, whatnot. So I'm just going to do a quick overview again. So going at the top from the beginning, obviously there it tells you about Logic Pro. Preferences is basically one of the first places that you want to go to. My recommendation is, again, if you're a beginner, everything after recording, so from MIDI all the way to advanced, I would recommend that you would just leave everything as is because there's a lot of, it leaves a lot of room for error and confusion. So I would say just go to, really the first place you want to go is go to the general section. Go to audio and then go to devices. Basically you want to make sure that you're able to see your audio interface here in the output as well as in the input if you're using audio interface for your recording. If you're using a USB microphone, it'll pop up here also. I'm using a USB microphone right now and it's going to show that as well. Everything below that, again, if you're a beginner, I would recommend that you leave all of that alone. We will have videos that go in a lot more detail with all of these different things. Recording, you could just leave this at the default, which is the recording file type, which is AIFF or WAV, but AIFF is pretty much a standard. And from that point on, you could just, again, forget about all these other things because it's going to just bring a lot of confusion. So again, very quickly, if you're using a control surface, this is where you go to set it up, but more than likely you're not going to be doing that. Sound library, if you haven't downloaded all of your sounds from Apple's servers, this is basically where you're going. Download the rest of those. Quit Logic Pro. Obviously, at the end of your session, you probably want to save it first and do that. File, most file menus pretty much look the same. If you want to create a new session, you would do that there. If you wanted to create a new session from a template that you created, and I'll show you how to do it in another time. If you wanted to open a session, just say, for instance, a friend of yours gave you something that gave you a session to mix or just to practice with, that's where you do that. And as you build up your files of sessions, you'll be able to open up the recent ones right here as well. This is where you go to close it. Close the project, save it as. So if you wanted to change the name of the file, you would do that there. For those of you that may be recording on 2 tracks, a lot of hip hop and R&B artists do that. You would import it as an audio file, or you could even just drag it from your desktop and you could import it directly into this window here. If you go to edit, so a lot of these features that you see here in this edit window can actually be found other places. So as we go through different tutorials, I'll show you how to cut, how to copy, how to paste, how to repeat or whatnot. But this is where this is one of the places that you'll find some of your editing tools. Track, just say for instance you wanted to add additional tracks to your song that you're working on. You just say you had 4 vocal tracks already selected, and you realize that, wait a minute, I need 5 more. This is one of the places that you go to do that. And you could also specify if it would be a audio or software instrument track from right here. And again, a lot of these could be found in other parts of the software. This is for navigating, just different options, play button options, if you want to create markers. And again, we'll talk about that in more detail. Record, if you wanted to count in, this is how you get a pre-roll or a count in before you actually start the recording. You could set it up here. Low latency mode. Here's record button options, overlapping audio recordings, recording settings. Again, as I recommended, you might want to leave that again. But here's where you would do if you wanted to experiment. This is another recording window. See how confusing it could be? Well, this is where you would do a count in. If you wanted to do it a 2-bar, 4-bar, whatever, you do it here. But again, my recommendation is try not to get too carried away initially because it will confuse you. This is the mix. Again, you could actually open up the mixing board from another place. But this is where you go to show the automation, create track automation, delete automation. Again, these are all advanced tools that I recommend that you stay away from, again, if you are a beginner. This is where you go to show the library or show your views. So if you want to show the mixer and whatnot, you could do that there. And there's also other places that you could go to get that to disappear. I'm just going to hide the mixer for right now. Show editor. So this is basically where you go after you record your tracks. So instruments, whether it be vocals, you could go down here and you could edit it more. So I'm going to hide that for the time being. Here's some more window options. You could zoom in, hide plugin windows, open the piano roll, score editor, all those things. And if you forgot everything that I told you, or you ever forget anything that you remember what to do, you could go right ahead in the help section and just type it in. So, just really quick, before we go, this is your library. This is the inspector that will give you more details. It's going to pull up the track information. It's actually more different tools, more tools. You can repeat a section, cut a section, insert. If you had a plugin or any tools down here, equalizers, like this one here, it'll pop up if you hit that. It's a mix window and a scissor tool or editing tool. I'm gonna hide this actually. This right here is your transport bar. So rewind, fast forward, stop, play, record, repeat. This gives you the tempo, the beats or whatever. The beats per measure of a song. This is where you can change your key signatures, solo, metronome, the overall volume of the track, kind of like the master fader. This is where you could find your loops that's already included with Logic Pro X. This is where you're able to select more project and media files, and if you wanted to import more stuff. I don't want it right now. You can even upload videos. I have some instrumentals here. And then you can just close all that as well. Again, it makes it so confusing. This tool actually is your pointer tool, but it shows you all the other tools that you have. And again, as we progress, I will go over all of these. Again, more tools. You could actually just helps you to size the track channel. Or if you had you're actually able to compress actually shrinks the screen so you could see your entire track on one page. And there's actually a whole lot more. So this tool actually, you could use that for your repeated. So just said, for instance, I had a 4-bar loop. I could hit it like that and it'll repeat. Notice this icon is is highlighted when you do that. So This window here is your edit window, or editor, or the edit view, I like to say. So basically, as you record your tracks, what will happen is that you'll be able to see, for instance, if I was to do something like this, if I was to import a track here, right? And if I was to go, like I said, remember, if I was to go and create a new track, and I would just create one, right? I'll do an audio input. No, actually, I'm not going to create the audio input right now. But here you see you could create it where to be a software instrument, external MIDI, guitar, bass, audio, drummer. I'll just create it as an audio track for the time being. And notice that I'm able to, again, I'm able to stretch that out. I'm able to make that as big as I wanted to. And what will happen is that as I add more tracks, they would stack right here. So this is a good view for when you're actually doing tracking. And when it's time to do mixing, you could actually hit this little button here. It'll pop up the mixer view. There's a lot of different options or whatnot you could do. You could even, make that smaller. Actually, if I was to do Command 2, I'm able to pull up another mixer, right? And I prefer this view here for when I'm mixing. I'd probably put that on a separate monitor, or I would just leave this up. But this view is my preferred view for when it's time for tracking, and most engineers would agree to that fact. So, hope you enjoyed my video today. Stay tuned for part 2, where we start to get more into recording. Again, my name is Brian. If you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe below, and I'll see you in the next video.